Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Another day, a whole nother day. Oh my. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right. Get the popcorn. Watch the show. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. As Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement unfolds, and the whole universe becomes inundated with love of Godhead, no one can stop it because it's His desire. Jump on board. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh boy. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming from all over the universe. And they're coming from the spiritual world. They're coming from everywhere to take part in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. There's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it, except when Lord Chaitanya appears, which is extremely, extremely rare. It's rare for Krishna to appear, but it's even more rare for Lord Chaitanya to actually appear. I mean, it is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The pastimes are going on eternally in the spiritual world. But for them to be visible here on this plane is very, 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 very rare. And we're plunk right in the middle of it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. If we could but see it, if we could but perceive what was really going on, the incredible personalities who are taking birth within the movement, who are gravitating and being attracted to the movement. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I read a little bit from the 10th canto, summary study of the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. And a few more mantras to complete my vow. Well, the vow is not complete, but the round. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Basically, this Krishna consciousness is dinner and a show. It's dinner and a show. Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. There's refreshments. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. It's not free. The price is you have to pay attention. Pay attention. That's the price. You pay attention. Attentive. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For that, arrange life in such a way you can minimize distractions so that you can what? Pay attention. To do some transcendental budgeting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so what's all this? Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hey, Krishna. Oh, okay. We were reading about Akrūra's arrival in Vṛndāvana. He's come to take Krishna out of Vṛndāvana so that Kamsa can try to kill him. But Akrūra is a great devotee, so he's caught in a funny spot. He's approaching Krishna, sent by the demons, but he's not a demon. but he's caught in a funny position, caught in a funny spot, awkward spot. So his prayers are that Krishna knows his heart and how he is a surrendered soul to Krishna. So this is the part Akrūra is playing. Someone has to take Krishna out of Vṛndāvana. And if a demon goes to Vṛndāvana, Krishna kills him right away. So it has to be a devotee that goes to Vṛndāvana to take Krishna out. Because if a demon comes in, and Krishna just kills him right away, because everybody in Vṛndāvana freaks out. Ah, it's a demon! So Krishna has to kill him right away. But Akrūra is actually a devotee. He's a family member. He's in the Yadu dynasty. Uncle Akrūra. So he had someone like Akrūra would have to do it. But it's still an awkward position for Akrūra. So as he was traveling to Vṛndāvana, he was reflecting and meditating and praying, and he was in ecstasy, he was in jubilation, knowing he was actually going to meet Krishna face to face. He says, when my mind will be purified after leaving the contamination of material sense enjoyment, I shall be able to visit Vṛndāvana. That's it from a song, Narottam Das Thakur. And that was Akrūra's position. He was free from material desire for sense enjoyment. And he was simply absorbed in thinking of the activities of Krishna. And Prabhupada further qualifies. He says, actually, one cannot go to Vṛndāvana by purchasing a ticket. The process of going to Vṛndāvana is shown by Akrūra. When Akrūra entered Vṛndāvana, he saw Krishna and Balaram engaged in supervising the milking of the cows. Krishna was dressed in yellow garments and Balaram in bluish. Akrūra also saw that Krishna's eyes were exactly like the beautifully grown lotus flower of the autumn season. He saw both Krishna and Balaram in the spring of their youth. Although both were similar in bodily features, Krishna was blackish in complexion, whereas Balaram was whitish. Both were the shelter of the goddess of fortune. They had well-constructed bodies, beautiful hands, and pleasing faces, and they were as strong as elephants. Now, after seeing their footprints, Akrūra actually saw Krishna and Balaram face to face. Although they were the most influential personalities, they were glancing at him with smiling faces. Akrūra could understand that both Krishna and Balaram had returned from tending cows in the forest. They had taken their bath and were dressed with fresh clothing and garlanded with flowers and necklaces made of valuable jewels. Their bodies were smeared with the pulp of sandalwood. Akrūra greatly appreciated the aroma of the flowers and sandalwood and their bodily presence. He considered himself very fortunate to see Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his plenary expansion, Balaram, face to face, for he knew that they were the original personalities of the creation. And there you have the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and the cause of all causes. Akrūra could understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared personally for the welfare of his creation, to re-establish the principles of religion, and to annihilate the demons. With their bodily effulgence, the brothers were dissipating all the darkness of the world as if they were mountains of sapphire and silver. Without hesitating, Akrūra immediately got down from his chariot and fell flat like a rod before Krishna and Balaram. Upon touching the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became overwhelmed with transcendental bliss. His voice choked up, and he could not speak. Due to Krishna's transcendental presence, incessant torrents of tears fell from his eyes. He remained stunned in ecstasy, as if devoid of all powers to see and speak. Lord Krishna, who was very kind to his devotees, raised Akrūra with his hand and embraced him. It appeared that Lord Krishna was very pleased with Akrūra. Balaram also embraced Akrūra. Okay. He remained stunned in ecstasy, as if devoid of all powers to see and speak. Lord Krishna, who is very kind to his devotees, raised Akrūra with his hand and embraced him. It appears that Lord Krishna is very pleased with Akrūra. Balaram also embraced Akrūra. That's interesting. When a man extends his hand to a woman and she takes his hand, it actually signifies a marriage. It's a type of marriage. If a man extends his hand to a woman and she takes his hand, it's a kind of marriage, kind of union, personal union. And it appears that Krishna extended his hand to Akrūra and then embraced him. So there's a very intense union taking place there. Upon touching the lotus feet, embraced Akrūra, taking him by the hand, Krishna and Balaram, and he embraced Akrūra. Taking him by the hand, Krishna and Balaram brought him to their sitting room, where they offered him a very nice sitting place and water for washing his feet. They also worshipped him with suitable presentations of honey and other ingredients. When Akrūra was thus comfortably seated, both Krishna and Balaram offered him a cow in charity, and then brought very palatable dishes of eatables, and Akrūra accepted them. When Akrūra finished eating, Balaram gave him betel nuts and spices, as well as pulp of sandalwood, just to make him more pleased and comfortable. The Vedic system of receiving a guest was completely observed by Lord Krishna himself to teach all others how to receive a guest at home. It is a Vedic injunction that even if a guest is an enemy, he should be received so well that he does not apprehend any danger from the host. If the host is a poor man, he should at least offer a straw mat as a sitting place and a glass of water to drink. Krishna and Balaram welcomed Akrūra, just befitting his exalted position. After Akrūra was thus properly received and seated, Nanda Maharaj, the foster father of Krishna, said, "My dear Akrūra, what shall I inquire from you? I know you are being protected by Kamsa, who is most cruel and demoniac. His protection is just like the slaughterhouse keeper's protection of animals he will kill in the future. Kamsa is so selfish that he has killed the sons of his own sister, so how can I honestly believe that he is protecting the citizens of Mathura?" This statement is most significant. If the political or executive heads of the state are simply interested in themselves, they can never look after the welfare of the citizens. As Nanda Maharaj spoke to Akrūra with pleasing words, Akrūra forgot all the fatigue of his day's journey from Mathura to Vṛndāvana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'm going to go into chapter 38. I think I'll continue a little bit more here. Akrūra's return journey and his visiting of Vishnu Loka within the Yamuna River. Akrūra was warmly received by Lord Krishna and Nanda Maharaj and offered a resting place for the night. In the meantime, the two brothers, Krishna and Balaram, went to take their supper. Akrūra sat on his bed and began to reflect all the desires which he had anticipated while coming from Mathura to Vṛndāvana had been fulfilled. Lord Krishna is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Being pleased with his pure devotee, he can offer whatever the devotee desires. But the pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord for his personal benefit. After taking their supper, Krishna and Balaram came to bid good night to Akrūra. Krishna asked about his maternal uncle Kamsa. How is he dealing with his friends? And he asked, how are my relatives? He also inquired into Kamsa's plans. That's interesting. Krishna, I'm wondering, I can't. Did everyone in Vṛndāvana find out that Krishna wasn't born to Nanda and Yasoda, but they loved him anyway, and they accepted the role of foster parents at this point? They were loving foster parents? Or were they still considering Krishna as their begotten child, Nanda and Yasoda and the residents of Vṛndāvana? And was Krishna speaking to Akrūra because Akrūra knew or could accept that Krishna had been transferred? Was it disclosed at this point? Because he says, my maternal uncle Kamsa. Is this just a confidential discussion between Krishna and Akrūra? Oh, you don't know. Hey, Krishna, you're a servant of time. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so he asks this question, and he says, maternal uncle Kamsa. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't say to Akrūra, how is my maternal uncle Kamsa? It's just Prabhupada is saying that Krishna asked about his maternal. So maybe everybody's still under the impression. Okay. Well, no, it was revealed to Kamsa. That's why he sent Akrūra, is that Krishna was actually the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Okay, so everybody knows. But they still love Krishna anyway. Okay, right. How are my relatives? He also inquired into Kamsa's plans. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then informed Akrūra that his presence was very much welcome. He inquired from him whether all his relatives and friends were well and free from kinds of ailments. Krishna stated that he was very sorry that his maternal uncle Kamsa was the head of the kingdom. He said that Kamsa was the greatest anachronism in the whole system of government, and that they could not expect any welfare for the citizens while he ruled. Then Krishna said, my father has undergone much tribulation simply from my being his son. For this reason, he has lost many other sons. I think myself so fortunate that you have come as my friend and relative. My good friend Akrūra, please tell me the purpose of your coming to Vṛndāvana. After this inquiry, Akrūra, who belonged to the dynasty of Yadu, explained the recent events in Mathura, including Kamsa's attempt to kill Vasudeva, the father of Krishna. He related the things which happened after the disclosure by Narada that Krishna was the son of Vasudeva. Okay, there it is. It was Narada disclosed it. Okay. Sitting by him in the house of Nanda Maharaj, Akrūra narrated all the stories regarding Kamsa. He told how Narada met Kamsa and how he himself was deputed by Kamsa to come to Vṛndāvana. It's still not clear whether the residents of Vṛndāvana know. Kamsa knows, and his demon friends know, and Akrūra knows, and of course Krishna knows, but the residents of Vṛndāvana, I don't recall them being informed that Krishna was really the son of Vasudeva. Even though, when Gargamuni went and did the astrological chart, he mentioned something about that. But it was just like a blip, and it was like nobody even heard what he said, kind of thing. He told how Narada met Kamsa and how he himself was deputed by Kamsa to come to Vṛndāvana. Akrūra explained to Krishna that Narada had told Kamsa all about Krishna's being transferred from Mathura to Vṛndāvana just after his birth, and about his killing all the demons sent by Kamsa. Akrūra then explained to Krishna the purpose of his coming to Vṛndāvana, to take him back to Mathura. After hearing of these arrangements, Balaram and Krishna, who are very expert in killing opponents, mildly laughed at the plans of Kamsa. They asked Nanda Maharaj to invite all the cowherd boys to go to Mathura to participate in the ceremony known as Dana Yagna. Kamsa wanted them all to go there to participate in the function. On Krishna's word, Nanda Maharaj at once called for the cowherd boys and asked them to collect all kinds of milk preparations and milk to present in the ceremony. He also sent instructions to the police chief of Vṛndāvana to tell all the inhabitants about Kamsa's great Dana Yagna function and invite them to join. Nanda Maharaj informed the cowherd boys that they would start the next morning. They therefore arranged for the cows and bulls to carry them all to Mathura. Oh boy, shoo. Hare Krishna. So they're all excited. They're thinking they're going for this big festival. They're going to go with Krishna and Balaram, and cows, bulls, and milk products, and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a big party. When everything will change drastically. And they will have to adjust somehow. They will enter into a mood of separation from Krishna. There's an old saying. The reason they've been around a while is because they have truth to them. It says, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Kind of the mood of separation. Hare Krishna.